Kevin says, does being on long service leave at the end of my active work life still count as being in paid employment? Is there a way to receive this benefit and not affect when the pension can be received? There's a couple of scenarios that you can apply here. So option one is the example that you've suggested here. You take long service leave over time. So it's just like you're just taking your long service leave. You're still employed. You're taking long service leave. The positives of this scenario is that your 9.5% superannuation guarantee, that's what your employer pays on your income into your super fund, will be paid on your long service leave if you take it over time. If you take that money as a lump sum, so you could take your long service leave as a lump sum, then there's not the requirement to pay the 9.5% superannuation guarantee. As in, they don't need to do it. But some employers choose to do it. So if your employer allows you to take your long service leave as a lump sum, but they also pay the 9.5% superannuation guarantee, that can be the best way to do it. Under this scenario, if you take it, say for example, you were of age pension age and you decide to take your long service leave over time, that could prevent you, depending on how much employment income you were generating each week, it's like you were still employed. So that income will be assessed from Centrelink's perspective. The positive thing about this is that you can often salary sacrifice to super this amount. So if you are receiving that money in a high income tax year, generally most long service leave these days is taxed at your marginal tax rates. If you take it over time, you can salary sacrifice. Sometimes you are able to salary sacrifice your long service leave when it's taken in a lump sum. So sometimes you can, sometimes your employer doesn't allow you to do it. So the positives of taking it over time is that you might get your 9.5% superannuation guarantee. You might be able to salary sacrifice, but the negative is, the drawback is that you're not going to get the age pension potentially, or you're going to get a reduced age pension. Either no or reduced age pension. So what I find is that generally, if you are eligible for the age pension, it is most often beneficial to take the long service leave as a lump sum, particularly if you can get the 9.5% paid on top of it by your employer, and if you've got a tax issue, being able to salary sacrifice that lump sum, but it just depends on your employer. So effectively, if you go down this long service leave over time, it might prevent you from receiving the age pension until you've finished the long service leave. Under this scenario where you take a lump sum, Centrelink don't test long service leave lump sums in the income test. They'll assess it in the asset test. So the lump sum after tax is tested as an asset, but it's not income tested. So it's tested as an asset, but it's not income tested. So there's your pros and cons, not income tested, just to complete from a Centrelink perspective. That's from a Centrelink perspective. So there are your two options. Generally, when I've done the assessment, there are some scenarios where it's not right, not the right thing to take a lump sum, but most times when I've assessed it, it's better to take a lump sum if you are eligible for the age pension. Hope that's answered your question, Kevin.